All right, ladies and gents, welcome, welcome, welcome. I know if there's one thing that you think of when you think T90 official, you think Black Forest expert. And I hope you're excited because I was voted onto Viper's team for the Black Forest tourney that's starting in a few weeks. We've been doing some practice games, and I have learned that it's kind of painful sometimes. I've been defeated a few times. I've also carried a few times. It's an experience. So here I am trying to cast and also trying to learn a little bit about the map. And forgive me if this is a little overwhelming at the start, because that's exactly what it will be on Black Forest at a high level, okay? We've got some flanks, Vil fighting here. We've got Vodka for his team in the red, playing as the Dravidians. And we've got Samaro in the gray, playing as the Persians. And I will eventually do the introductions, but if you just look at my mouse cursor for a second, this is one team, okay? This is the other, right? And the flanks are always, they're always part of the whole walling equation. The players in the middle are normally just going to send their scout in support, and that's precisely what we have here. And you can see the scout now showing up in support for Samaro as well. Now, wall positions on Black Forest are so important at a high level because players like to rush in these positions, right? Imagine even a castle drop here for red. So we may see even more villagers be sent for either player because you just do not want to allow a forward wall position like this to happen. Red just needs one more palisade wall foundation down, and then it's walled. But, you know, we'll see if this actually happens. This is extremely stressful, extremely messy. It does seem like on the other side, one player is walling, the other one's not. So there's actually no fighting there. And I will keep you updated there eventually. But, okay, red gets the wall down. And this will be an important talking point. A quick glance over on this side. We've got Munez. Munez is playing as the Huns. Has the walls down. Valis is a crazy Black Forest player. And he did not rush the walls at all. He simply scouted the fact his opponent has walled. And will probably just wall behind now. Pretty large opening up through the middle. There's a lot of different things that could happen there. Both teams are going to have lots of boars they might want to take. But that's open enough through the middle where we could definitely see someone go for a scout play. And then red still trying to get the walls down on this side, still kind of being contested by some of these scouts. All right. Black Forest start may be the most micro-intensive of all maps. Well, any micro-intensive just comes down to Vil War, right? And so there's very rare 1v1 maps or team game maps where you're going to Vil Rush like this. So yeah, I think that's fair. There were some maps in the past where there'd be, let's say, Neutral Hunt in the middle. Border Dispute is a map where players are right next to each other. You know, then can be some immediate pressure, but feels like in terms of consistency, Black Forest has a lot more, right? So we'll eventually get an introduction in and talk about the civilizations, and I can maybe share some of my experiences with Black Forest as well, but we're not at that point yet. It looks like Ganji was hoping to wall here, and a wolf started to attack him, so he just kind of walled that bad boy in. There's going to be another wolf here. This is a wall to save the villager initially. It takes one hit and then a little bop, and now that guy's trapped. Pretty epic how easy he makes that look, but Ganji's done it a million times, and this is still not fully walled. And so, you know, here comes Samaro. And Vodka says, oh boy, I could see how this is going. So Vodka is going to send even more villagers. Crazy, crazy, crazy action over here with the Vil War. Other side more relaxed, like we said. And now we have Ganji trying to bring in 3 boars. Now, they screwed up pathing. I don't know if you guys know about this. I've only talked about it all month. They really screwed up pathing with the most recent patch. Wow, this is insane from Ganji, though. Holy crap, he's using the palisades to change the pathing. But occasionally what happens is the other boars will, like, stay way back here. Ganji has made this look very easy. He's going to weaken all the boars now, and he's going to shoot all the boars underneath the TC. Holy crap. Oh my goodness, that was so good. I was ready to, like, when I try this, right? Look at all these palisade walls. When I try this, the first boar is chasing you, and the other 3 or 5 or 6 boars get stuck, like, 15 tiles away as a result of the most recent pathing changes. But Ganji just said, no problem. That was disgustingly clean. This guy's had to deal with wolves. Remember, he didn't have loom, and he just brought that in like it was nothing. Okay, so let's talk about the right side a little bit more. Walls are coming up for both players. We have a wall here from red. And in the middle, we are going to see Richard, which is what I'll call him. I don't even know how to say his actual username. I've always known him as Richard. Reginen? It's always been Richard for me. He's been around a very long time. Good to see him playing the game again. He's going to try a wall here. But they don't fully trust that that's a possibility at the moment. So which is why Velas has left his scout here for his team. And Madri's actually sending a villager there as well. Walling here from Ganji. Seems like the walls will complete in time. All right, so let me just go through the civs real quick. Huns, Burgundians, Celts, and then the Persians. Interesting combination here. Burgundians and Celts being in the positions they're in will be really important because those are some good eco civs. They could do some crazy things with their economy. Then we've got Dravidians, which if I'm thinking Dravidians, I'm thinking like late game Elephant Archers or early game Rush. One or the other. Saracens, Britons, and then last but not least, the Byzantines. And so in terms of the siege, both teams are kind of limited with their siege. You have the Celts that have good siege, but like Huns don't really have good siege. Burgundians, Persians don't really have the best siege. So there's that. I guess Saracens would be the best siege civilization for the team in the northwest. But yeah, we'll see. But guys, like, what you really have to appreciate here is the teamwork that we have seen in this game. We had the teamwork with the scouts on the flanks to help with the walling process. We now have Madri helping Richard bring in a boar. We had Valis and Madri making sure that this was not going to be pushed at all with their scouts. There's been some incredible teamwork here so far. It's really, it's one of those things. I watch this, and I appreciate it, and I am so impressed by it, everything that they do. And then my experience playing on Black Forest, I don't know, maybe it's me, maybe it's the team, maybe I just need more experience. But it's just like, I've been defeated twice in the last week of playing games. I also had some good carry victories. Should I blame Viper? I think I should blame Viper. Let's just say we blame Viper, okay? It's been a tumultuous experience thus far on Black Forest for me. So the way the whole process worked, by the way, is you had captains. So I think it was 8 captains or 10 captains. I forget. Viper was a captain. And then you go through and you get to pick players. And I was Viper's first pick. And I felt so good, and I was like, oh my goodness, he picked me. Then I remembered it was for a Black Forest tourney where I don't have a ton of experience. And then in our team chat, he said, I think we can do quite well in this tournament and have a good time, despite T90 being on our team. And so my confidence was just like sky high, and then it just went way down. We have a sneak. I can't even focus on what's happening in the actual game because I'm so bad at this map. We had a sneaky sneak here from Mununez, and it seems like that Madri has communicated this to his team. So he's going to have to switch it up, go for some siege here. Great work from Orange. And that's because he walled early and because Valis didn't wall immediately. So Orange probably walled and then snuck the Vil. Valis did wall here, though, so the archers won't harass him. These archers might not actually end up accomplishing that much. And Madri will add some siege versus that. Here was a villager, and wow, the scout trying to kill that. That's not going to happen. And now FedEx is going to lose his scout. Valis is going to have a scout inside. Archer's going to head over this way now. We had stone walls from Richard. He's not about to deal with any of that. And then we have walls here from Vodka as well. So again, this is all team communication, which is all very important. And meanwhile, Richard, he's going to go siege monk push in this position. So he's going to be really aggressive. And we're going to see some aggression here from Ganji too. So it seems to me like Ganji is going to have a little bit more eco to back some of this up. But we'll see. What I really like for the Southeastern team, so for Samaro's team, is that FedEx hasn't had to do much at all. He's gone 4 TCs with Burgundy. It's a crazy eco sieve, and that's all he's doing is booming. So the fact that Orange is being aggressive is great. The fact that we're going to see, some level of aggression here from Ganji is good as well. The concern is he's not really in the best of positions to help Orange. Huns are one of the worst Black Forest civilizations, I think. They don't have good monks to be able to defend from a siege push. And, like, Valis, from what I know about him on Black Forest, is his pressure is just second to none. Viper said he'll bench you all the time just to screw your content over. Well, he's trolling. We're both trolling back and forth, so it's not... I want to be clear, because, like, someone after I played some games with Viper, he was like, I think Viper crossed the line there. And someone was like, yeah, I think he did cross the line. I want to be clear. Viper and I have known each other for a really long time. Any jokes we make about each other, they're just that. They're just jokes, all right? It's not like, Rage Forest is not, like, a very important moment in my career as a player. For Viper, he's accomplished so many different things. We're going to take it as serious as we can with everything else that's going on. But the goal is to have fun, right? And part of that fun is saying that he's overrated and that he doesn't wall and that he is going to make me look bad because he's so greedy. So, again, all jokes. Holy walls here from Orange. This is a big part of Black Forest. You just have to commit to walling. He's done his part to, try and help the team with the aggression. He has delayed Madri in some aspects, right? Which is always good. Holy walls, man. And meanwhile, over here, this is not going to look too good for Samaro, as we have monks, and then we have siege already through the palisade walls. There were no stone walls here. Now, what Richard is unaware of is that there's scouts here. He could see the siege, so he's probably thinking I need to research redemption. Let me actually remove market events. It's a bit crazy. But he doesn't know that there's scouts. So Lycav could actually change the day for him. Change the date, change the situation. I like the forward walls here from Vodka because if you lose the position by losing your army, you at least still have the walls there. Just like not a good map gen for Samaro, let's be honest. I like the housing here from Madri too, by the way. And I like the continuous pressure here from Valis. He's not all in either. He does have 3 town centers with good economy behind this. And now here's some stables for FedEx, but... Lycav go in. Scout also there for Samaro. Great teamwork. And oh my goodness. Conversions actually end up coming in there, but a couple monks go down. If most of the monks are gone, then suddenly the Celt Siege can come into play. Man, this is an interesting game because Madri's team are pushing with worse economy, but I feel like they're gaining a nice position. And I would always opt for the position in late game. This is gonna give this is gonna put FedEx under pressure to do some damage here. Also, Orange had a stable here, which Madri has found, and Madri's now gonna completely wall in. A Lycav that was converted here goes in for a Mangonel. Lycav now goes down. I think at this point, Vodka's kind of realizing with Richard they've done enough. And Vodka's going to try and make another gate. That's actually really smart. Because now it becomes really difficult for Ganji to come this way to save Samaro. Thankfully, Samaro is Persian, so his TC has more HP. But he really just has economy right now. So we'll see what type of progress these flanks make. There's a lot of Mangonels right now. And that Vodka villager really needed to die a little faster. Now it does go down, so maybe the gate won't finish. Fun game. We have Lycav waiting here for FedEx. It almost looks like he stopped producing Lycav, realizing he's not going to be able to find anything here. So he might opt for Imperial Age first. There's not a ton of Lycav support for Ganji. If you're wondering why, it's because he's putting a lot of his food into his villagers now. And villager count for Samaro, who's being pushed, is at 82. For Richard, who's pushing, is 44. So if they clear this up, if Samaro could just hold here and not completely die, I think they could be in a good spot in the long run. But obviously, I use the word if for a reason, right? Castle had to be slightly abandoned. Oh, Richard's so ready with the monks. Is he going to go for the light cav or the siege? He's going to go for the light cav. Oh, man, but he ran in towards the town center. Disaster for Richard. Disaster for Richard. And this is a great hold here from Samaro. Very impressive stuff. Now, what you don't want to do is open these gates here. Oh, man. Oh, he killed the light cav. I want to see one elephant. That's funny. Look at him. He's trying to run. He's trying to save his siege. But I think if he does that, the Celt siege could find a really good opportunity to hit. He's trying to... He keeps accidentally clicking the palisades from the enemy there. He's trying to move around. Celt siege is dangerous. It seems like at this point, all we're going to see is maybe a rewall attempt from red. Good help there from Ganji against Samaro. And we will now shift our focus over here, where we actually have orange deleting the walls. I'm not sure why. I guess they didn't know Valis' scout was there. Well, I'd be kind of annoyed. That was probably FedEx saying delete the walls. And FedEx, nice work there from Orange as well. Orange actually, this is so good. He snuck in with the mangonel. Now they've got to delete the walls. Okay, well, that didn't work out. Nice quick walling, though. And the Cavs through. So this is really poorly timed from Madri. Madri had the right idea to try and push the middle with Halbs, but he didn't expect that FedEx would be through. I think there must have been some miscommunication there, because if Orange deletes the walls there, it's for a reason, and Valis could have maybe communicated that. So the barracks positions were going to be there. We already have Paladin on the way for FedEx. I think this game has really showed you, like, the importance of getting your walls down on Black Forest and buying your team time. Like, Orange might not look like he's the MVP with his score right now, but the fact that, you know, all this has happened truly comes back to how he was able to get the walls down and sneak and everything. And then also, Ganji and Samaro's defense on the right side was impressive. Onager's in, so the trees can be cut, and that's precisely what FedEx is trying to do. And Madri's still buying himself so much time. Really well played for Madri. Like, this time could change things, but he just doesn't have the production buildings. It seems inevitable that these units are all going to get through. A castle here from Ganji. By the way, there's still nothing really happening on this side. And Ganji could even contribute with some fighting through the middle. And now I think what you need to do if you're Valis is you need to either push and kill Orange's side fast, or you got to come help Madri. But I think if you come help Madri, you're not helping your team win the game. I think helping your team have a good winning position is to undercut yourself directly into Orange's base. How did Madri still not allow these units through here? So impressive. Where did the Onager go? I must have missed the Onager dying. I'm not actually sure how it went down. But you know, a lot to follow here. I try my best to follow these games. And it's hard for me to give like real insightful commentary while also following the games. So I think that's... I'm not saying like, oh, I'm very insightful, look at me. I'm just saying that I'm trying to explain certain things. So I hope you guys appreciate the explanations I'm trying to give. Right, Onager got converted. The Cav was converted. Oh, he converted Cav and then used the Cav against the Onager there. Oh, that's pretty sick. Well, that bought them more time then. So the castle's going to go up. Halba's in for Valis, and it's in for Madri. We still don't have any type of push here yet, but Onager's on the way, so I think Valis will get through there. And now, similar to before, this is, again, something I've really been learning in Black Forest, is like, you got to wall off from your teammates sometimes. Because if they protect themselves, you know, they're going to... That pressure could go right over to somebody else. So the fact that these walls were up earlier is actually very helpful. And Ganji's got Wodes. Wodes are insanely good against Halbs. Wodes wouldn't be very good against the Byzantine Cataphracts, or even like the longbows. So I think eventually Wode Raiders don't feel that strong. Imperative that Richard walls here. He does not have a lot. He also needs to convert Cav. Do what we had... Well, what you guys saw, what I didn't talk about earlier. Convert Cav and kill the Onager. Ay. This is just so much pressure up the middle right now. And Samaro's team now has the army lead and also has the eco lead. So they turn defense on the sides into a push through the middle. And it really feels like Madri's team is falling apart at the moment. And this is impressive, right? The fact that so much damage control has happened here is impressive. you know, if I were Madri or if I were Richard, the Paladins would already be in one of our bases. So good luck, Viper and team. But the Paladins are still going to get through. And here FedEx kind of falls back for the time being. I think we'll be somewhat happy with that. They haven't lost their castles there yet. And more Paladins coming through. Meanwhile, we've got a little bombard cannon push from Samero. On the right side, obviously, Red could be harassed by some of these Paladins, so it's not going to be easy for Red to deal with that. And Red is being harassed by these Paladins, and now we have Valis through. He's been through for a bit here. He's mixing in Cataphracts with his Halbs. He lost the Trebs, which I think is really important. Ganji went in there and just sniped the Siege. So that just means that Orange's base stays alive a little bit longer. It buys some time for FedEx to send help or Ganji to send help. And look at Orange. Like, this is the stuff, man, that's so epic. I actually had a game against Orange, okay? So I pushed him, cleared him out, killed him, basically. And I was trying to reinforce with army, and he kept doing this crap. I didn't realize until it was way later. In my case, my units were actually pathing. Okay, so that is open. But my units were actually pathing through the middle here in an instance like that. So it's really smart thinking. Doing anything he can to delay, because I think the only way that Madri's team wins is through Valis right now. So if Valis can continue to push here, maybe there's a chance. Because look, like Madri's now pushing back this castle. Problem is, Red is starting to die now. And I would like to see Ganji maybe send some Woad Raiders to this side. But yeah, Vodka's really in big trouble. Ganji's still trying to keep Madri from fully pushing back here towards the mid. Cataphracts are not elite. We do see elite longbowmen, and now we see elite cataphracts. So Madri and Valis' compositions are only getting stronger. Woad Raiders aren't a bad unit to make an early imp. It feels like in the long run in these games, you mainly want to see Celts on siege. But Ganji's through. Oh, that's so good. Oh, man, Red is in such big trouble. And Richard has been kind of a non-factor for a while now. So we know Madri and Valis are going to be strong. But if it's 2 versus 4, normally the 4 are always going to be favored. And Woad Raiders will mop up the Halbs so easily. Samero's going to have the siege to take out Red. Red will not last very long. So Valis needs to kill. Don't open the gate, FedEx. FedEx, you don't want a shipment of Halbs to your face. Oh, God. Priority shipping. Oh, no. Oh, boy. Okay, well, the Halbs aren't following in there. I guess... Okay, the gate's going to close. Red. Oh, man. Not a fun position to be in, right? It feels like you've done your job for your team. You've done your best. You contributed with the walls early, but... Truthfully, I think Dravidians... They're just not one of the best Black Forest civilizations. Let's just say that. Kind of awkward to know exactly what to do with them anyways. And we have bombard cannons and box formation, which is pretty cool to see. And then crossbowmen from Samero. Red will die here. Which means Madri needs to be killing, but killing faster. And he just can't get over there to help. So if you do anything at this point on Madri's team to stabilize, you're just going to die in the long run anyways, because you got 2 teammates dead. Everything has to be pushed. Really hard for Madri to really do that. He'd have to almost push through the middle right now. I'd like to see some hand cannons. Oh, whoa. We have the revolution for FedEx. Oh, God. Okay, so now he has 196 military. All of his villagers turned into military, and this is his best way of defense, I guess. How much food does he have? He doesn't have that many TCs, actually. Normally, you want to have like 6 or 7 TCs to reboom and add more villagers back to your farms. But I think they're so far ahead that I think that this... I mean, it's a way to throw the game, but it feels like this is the wave at the time where they just need to hold, allowing for the other players to come into the fold here. Vodka in general is pretty good, right? Yeah, he hasn't been playing a ton, but he, like, in his peak was top 30, top 40. Really good Italian player. Yeah, I think top 30, top 40 at his peak in his day is up there. He's more so always been a really good, consistent team game player. I also think Vodka... I actually forget, but I believe he, like, works on the game these days. Like, maybe I'm wrong on this. But a big reason he doesn't play in tournaments is because people who work for Microsoft or Forgotten Empires can't play in Microsoft-sponsored tournaments. Rage Force, though, is a community-sponsored tourney. So he will be able to participate, and he is on one of the teams. I'm just not sure which team he's on. Richard's been reboom mode. He's up to 100 eco. He's dropping stables, hoping that he could get some numbers out here. But he could start to lose all these buildings soon. And the Flemish militia actually done enough. I still don't love the fact that it happened without the town centers ahead of time. You could tell FedEx has got some risk, but... Or sorry, you could recognize the risk because he's dropping more TCs, but... It just feels like, you know, Red's... Vodka's pretty much out of the game. He's in reboom mode over here. The other thing is, too, is you can't trade. You could tell they wanted to trade here. You can't trade for your team if you've lost a flank player. Though I suppose Orange is kind of in reboom mode, too. Huh, that's kind of interesting. Valis really not pushing any further. He probably is running a little low on gold at the moment. He went for Onager, Cataphracts. Spent a lot of gold. I don't see him mining much gold there, to be honest, either. Little disappointing we're not seeing any trebs here from FedEx. Like, 3 or 4 trebs or bomber cannons to push these castles would have been helpful. Gray uses the "we're being attacked, please help" taunt. And signaled the longbows. The taunt I need to use more. But yeah, I think the gold count is going to be pretty insane in the long run for the team who can trade. Because just not seeing trade as a potential for Team Madri. That said, I mean, it's not a ton of trade for Team Samara at the moment. Great game, though. So, you know, the thing that is tough for me to get used to as a Black Forest player is the variety of experiences that you can have in a game. So, for example, I defeated Valis. No. This is embarrassing. I got the story wrong. Valis was my flank. Okay, so I was pocket. Viper was pocket. Valis was one flank. Marv was the other flank. Valis was my flank. Did everything I should have, I think. Unfortunately for him, he got 2v1'd and he eventually got defeated in the game. And yet, we basically defeated one of the players that had defeated him and pushed halfway through the other guy's base. So, like, think about it, though. Valis was defeated in the game. The very next game, he was top score for his team and dominated the entire time. And there's just so many different factors. Like, it's pretty cool the amount of variety you see in these Black Forest games at a high level. From sneaking to, like, sometimes the map spawns, too, can heavily influence things, where one map's more open than the other. The tricky thing for me is sometimes it's just not fun to go into a game and then have really bad civs or just be, you know, completely overrun. It's not fun to be the player who's dead but has to slow down their death for their team. So it's tough for me to enjoy it as much all the time. But I've been enjoying it thus far, and I have an appreciation for it, certainly. I mean, population difference hasn't gotten much better for Team Madri. Red is at 30 Vils. It's at 58 eco right now for Gray. That's not going to last. I'm not seeing a whole lot of help go that direction. We now have Elite War Elephant making the move into the vacated red area, and the GG's called. So, GG. Typically, there are pawns. I'm not sure. I think there's a variance in the pawns based on the map script. But anyways, I want to hear what people have to say about Black Forest in the YouTube comments. Also, let me know, like, maybe... I mean, I'm definitely going to stream all the games that we end up playing. And when Rage Forest happens, I'll probably upload those games to my Extras channel. So if you haven't already, check out the Extras channel, because I put extra content there that doesn't necessarily make the main channel. But I want to know if people are maybe interested in, like, maybe post-match analysis / casting of my Rage Forest games. on Team Viper when that day eventually comes. We will have our work cut out for us, right? Like, I'm flying to Germany in 2 days to cast a tournament called NAC4. Viper's going to be playing in that tournament. All these dudes, they're just playing Black Forest all the time. That's all they really do anyways. So these guys are in, like, full practice mode. But I think it'll be fun. So, a lot of crazy things we saw in that game, didn't we? I think it was really the most important moment of this game. Was Madri expecting that he could build his barracks here and just getting that dead wrong, right? Like, FedEx moving forward and denying all that barracks production, it became immediate damage control for Team Madri. He had walls here. If they would have just left the walls up there and he would have prepped the barracks, I think that, this type of damage control doesn't need to happen. This doesn't need to happen. And maybe, Purple's in a better position in the long run. Madri would have been able to push back against Ganchi and FedEx. Valis could probably focus on his push instead of having to help Madri. Like, I really felt like that was the important moment in the game. But also, to be honest with you, Samaro had a sick boom. Samaro had like 100 vills against all that pressure. Probably a lot of the fact due, the fact he's Persians. And like Richard, the one who was pushing, was like 50 or 60 vills. And just committed so much for so little gain there. But it was a good game. There's the KD for you. Samaro actually had more kills, a better KD than anyone. So Persian crossbow's overpowered, apparently. And there's resources collected. There wasn't actually a lot of trade, but like we said, we knew blue and orange had the potential. And his teammates could have gotten in on the action there as well. Not sure if there's really anything else I should be looking at here to sum up this game. It was a good Black Forest game. Lessons learned. Good action. I like it.